Inside here is a gadget which is supposed to make perfect rice balls. But can shaking rice really make perfect balls? I'm not convinced. Let's try it out and see. So we've got these two halves of a mould, and I think, yeah, they're clipped together here at the back. So now the whole thing hinges open and closed. And the idea is we fill each of these compartments with a little bit of rice and then shake it back and forward, and we should make perfect rice balls. What do you think? Is it going to work? It also comes with this nice little rice paddle for scooping up the rice and filling the mould. But when I looked in the cupboard, I only had brown rice. We'll give it a go and see what happens. And we're going to see if we can recreate this little picture on the front of the packet of 3 little rice balls with faces. Okay, so the rice is cooked, and I think we just fill up one half of the mould until each compartment is about level. Now, close over the top, grip the handle, and give it a shake. Can this really make perfect rice balls? I've been shaking it for about 10 seconds. Let's take a look. No, that doesn't look great. Let's close it back up and try shaking it a bit longer. I shook it for about another 15 seconds, and nope, that's definitely not worked. The middle one looks kind of like a ball, but I think if I try and pick it up, it'll just fall apart. Okay, so maybe brown rice just isn't sticky enough. I need a different rice. So I popped to the shop, and I was just about to buy this white rice, but then I noticed this. Sushi rice. And I'm thinking this stuff should be ideal. It should be sticky and hopefully will keep its shape. The grains are a bit shorter than some other rice. So let's cook some and see if it works. Okay, so I've now got a nice pan of cooked sushi rice. And straight away I would say it feels a lot stickier than the brown rice. Let's fill up the mould again and see if we can perfectly recreate these 3 little rice balls on the picture. Here goes. I've shaken it for about 10 seconds again, and if we look at it before even opening it, you can see all the rice is down on the bottom end. That's looking promising, and if I open it up... Okay, not too bad. Let's take the middle one out, and... It's not looking perfect, but it's not bad. It is holding its shape, just about. This one at the bottom looks a bit rougher. I'll try to kind of squeeze it back together with my fingers, but it's sticking and it's falling apart as I try. And if I try lifting it a little, you can see it's really not bound together. This one at the top though has been pretty successful, similar to the one from the middle. So if I place those two onto a lettuce leaf, and I haven't really got anything to do a face with, so I'll just dot some of these sesame seeds on. Oh dear, that's not very good, is it? Certainly not quite as nice as the picture. And I think there's probably far easier and more consistent ways to make good rice balls, so I'm going to put this in the useless category. Next, I'm excited about this one because it looks really clever. It's actually a thermos cup for keeping your drinks warm, but it's got a really clever mechanism for closing. It comes with a few bits and pieces, and I'm not sure what the bar is across the top. Oh, I see, it's just a short piece of silicone tube, and some instructions too. I think we make up a straw, and there's a little pipe cleaner brush for cleaning. So here's the cup, and check this out. Pretty cool, huh? You just twist it to close it and open it again. It takes a little bit of practice to get it smooth, but it's a really satisfying mechanism. And when it's open, it's got this nice lip for drinking out of, like a normal cup. If you look at it from this angle, the arrow on the yellow ring lines up with the word drink when it's open. Then as you twist it, it starts rising up this track, turning and closing the cover at the top. And when the arrow lines up with the word close, it locks in place. That's a really clever invention, but we need to test how well does this seal work. Can you trust it not to leak in a backpack alongside of a laptop? How effective is it at actually keeping your drink hot? And is it suitable for fizzy drinks? So first, can we trust the lid? It is thin and flexible, but is it watertight? To find out, I'm filling it up with boiling water. Make sure it's closed properly. Yep, it's all sealed. And I think we'll start by knocking it over a couple of times. Okay, well, actually, there are some tiny little droplets of water here on the surface. Now, I don't know if they've come up through the middle of the seal, or maybe they were stuck in the folds as I twisted it closed to begin with. I'll dry them off, but next I'm going to try shaking it. I'm putting on my oven glove for this, just for a little protection. I'm giving it quite a vigorous shake, as you can see. This is even more than it would shake if you were running with it in your backpack. And... well, actually, that looks completely dry. That's good. But what if we were using it for cold drinks, maybe something fizzy? Now, when I shake this, it's going to release CO2 from the bubbles. How's this flexible seal going to cope with the pressure build-up? Oh no, look at that! The whole thing has ballooned right out. And it's even lifted up the yellow ring. That's definitely not good. It feels like it could pop at any second, so I'll slowly undo it to let the gas out gently. Well, I guess we know it's airtight now, but I'd say it's not suitable for fizzy drinks if you're closing the lid. But what about with the straw? Looking at the instructions, we were actually supposed to receive 2 lengths of stainless steel straw, along with a silicone pipe. But mine only came with 1. I'm going to try using this paper drinking straw as a temporary fix. It's roughly the same diameter. The instructions say to connect the 2 straws together using the silicone tube. So we've now got a nice long straw with this bendy bit in the middle. And I'm going to need to cut the paper straw to the right length for the cup. And now the idea is we can close the lid on the cup and the top seals around the silicone tube, which helps to prevent spills. Let's try it out with some Coke. Place the straw in and twist it closed. That's cool, it's still nice and flexible. And when you take a sip, you can see it going through. And what I quite like about this is if we turn the drink upside down, the bottom of the straw is now in an air bubble at the top, so the drink doesn't pour out, only the little bit that was inside the straw. That is pretty cool, but how effective is this seal at keeping a hot drink hot? To find out, I'm going to compare it with my regular thermos cup and also a normal mug. I boiled the kettle and filled all 3 up. Now let's quickly close the lid on these 2 thermos flasks. And I'll measure the temperature of the water here in the mug, so we've got a base point. And it's 86 degrees centigrade. That's 186 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to leave these for an hour and we'll come back later to see how they performed. If you're enjoying the video, I've got loads more coming soon, so make sure you're subscribed because you won't want to miss them. And who knows, maybe with your help, one day we'll get this channel to 10 million subscribers. That would be amazing. Next up, we've got this magnetic sand timer, and I want to see if it's as cool as it looks online. So the first thing we get is this little base plate. This is the stand for the hourglass, and there's a foam pad here. And it's a bit of a struggle to get the rest of it out. I'll open up the bottom and push it through from the other side. And in here we've got the sand timer, but it's not your usual sand timer. Let's see what happens when I place it on the base. Check it out! You get a really cool effect. Rather than just dropping to the bottom in a flat pile of sand, it builds some cool spiky structures. Inside, it's not actually sand, it's iron filings. And underneath the felt pad on the base, there's a magnet. And when you first turn it over, you get this really cool effect. It looks awesome, but as more falls down from the top, it starts to engulf it all. But you just flip it back over and do it again. But what happens if I introduce a large magnet alongside of it while it's falling? Oh cool, it blocks the whole thing up and sticks to the side. And I'm being really careful here not to smash the glass. And you can use the magnet to really play around with what's inside too. But how long does it take to all flow through, and could we actually use it as an egg timer? Oh wow, it only took 17 seconds. I don't think that's a useful time frame for any cooking. It really is just a shelf ornament, something to play with. It's well made and quite mesmerising. And it's quite affordable. I really like it, so I'm going to put it in the useful category. Okay, so it's been an hour, let's check on the temperatures of the drinks. The mug has now dropped down to 33 degrees centigrade, that's 91 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm going to open this thermos just a tiny bit, so I can fit the thermometer down inside. The temperature we've got here is 53 degrees centigrade, which is 127 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's substantially warmer than the mug. But how does it compare to this thermos? And wow, you can still see the steam pouring out of this one. Well, this one's really impressive. It's actually still 73 degrees Celsius. That's 163 degrees Fahrenheit. So it definitely far outperforms the other one. But I want to see how bad it's going to be after another hour, so I waited to find out. Let's see. After 2 hours, the water in the mug was 26 degrees centigrade, which is 79 degrees Fahrenheit. The water in the Twist cup is now 41 degrees Celsius, which is 106 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a big loss from where we started. And if we take the lid off this one and take a reading, this one's still at 64 degrees Celsius. That's 147 degrees Fahrenheit, which means this thermos is a lot more effective than the twisting one. So where are we with this? I've definitely enjoyed using it, and I quite like how it seals a straw if you're using it for a cold drink, but because it's pretty poor at keeping your drink hot, I'm afraid I'm going to put this in the useless category. Next, if you'd like to see what happened when I tested some other really cool products, like this cleaning slime on my keyboard, and this really cool data protection stamp, you can click on the link here. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss my new videos, and thanks for watching.